we go. That's right.
It's pretty heavy too. So here's your bagger. The tabs are here, so you want it to correspond with the tabs on the inside. There we go, the click. You have to have a click. So now, nothing is stopping the grass from coming out the rear. So, it's really nice. Push on. Not very much at all, huh?
I found the old mulch cover for my Murray Black Beauty. It's a spare. I already have one. So it's really good steel. Look, it fits right over there. It just like do a couple of welds there to attach that. But then over here, it's not exactly the right size. It's too small. So it would still leave a big gap there, which I would have to cover up with some kind of plastic or something like that. So I don't know, I was thinking about maybe we'll keep it and fix it and stuff, but I don't know. It would still look too jigged, you know what I mean? I mean, it would work, but it would look like a jig machine. I think maybe we should just do the engine swap. Of course, the deck that I want is all the way in back of there. I'm gonna take out everything just to get to that extra deck. Ugh. All right, wasn't too bad. Just wanted to show you guys. That gray one there needs a new carburetor. That's my electric Lithley. This is my Monster Beast that I'm gonna sell. Works great. There's a Snowtech from Aaron's that I want to sell. Works great. This is the Aaron's that I picked up last year. Works so great that that's the one I'm gonna keep. Gonna have to fix that. Gonna have to fix this. Honda HS 520, awesome machine. I almost don't want to sell it, but it's wonderful. This one doesn't have a chute in it, but I think the engine runs. Got a Honda here, it's been sitting here for a while. I have it listed at 175, no bagger. Some bites, but I'm not giving it up because it's a really nice mower. It's a Frankenmower, still haven't sold it. Frankenmower, haven't sold it. Rodimus Prime works, runs, everything, but I have it listed too high. Husqvarna runs great. I use it every weekend to mow my lawn. Well, every 2 weeks. Runs great. Before I got the Husqvarna fixed, I was mowing the lawn with my Toro 616 zero turn. This is the one we just put the new bagger on. This one has electric start, but I listed it too high because you guys told me to list it high. I would have sold it if you guys didn't tell me to list it so high. Had this one for a long time. Have that listed at 175. Nobody wants it. Here's another Frankenmower that I put together. Runs. And here's the deck. This is the one I want to put the engine on. You know, this deck is not in great shape either. And also, I believe the rear wheels are locked up and the cables are bad. I figured maybe I'd try to fabricate those cables to fit on this, setup to run that engine. But then we don't even know if the freed up. We don't even know if this self-propulsion works, right? Has good wheels though. I'm gonna bring this to the front. So I only have 7 mowers left to bring over probably to next year. And I've got about 3 or 4 snowblowers I need to fix before the winter comes. Got a few extra baggers over there. What I'll be carrying into the winter will just be Rodimus Prime and Husqvarna to sell. I'm never selling this. And we'll now work on this and see if we'll end up with 8 mowers to sell next year.
So hey guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers. As you saw, I've got the parts ready to go, but I have to make a decision. whether or not I want to try to fix the deck on this, which it seems like would be a lot of work just for a push mower without a bag. You know what I mean? The only reason why I'm thinking about it is because the only bad part of it is the side. Engine works, self-propulsion works, good wheels. That's the dilemma. Here we have a deck. Believe it or not, the rear wheels are actually good. The front ones won't spin. So it's just rusty in the hub area, which I could take off, grind off the rust, oil it, put it back on, and it should roll very nicely. It's a good deck with surface rust. I would grind the surface rust and paint it orange. That means I'd have to go buy some orange paint. That's like $7. I don't know if the real self-propulsion works, and the cables are bad. Would the cables here be able to be fabricated onto that handle? Maybe. If I had to remove this handle with the cables on it and put it on here. Maybe. It connects well to this engine. So we put this engine, those cables, those handles onto this deck, and then test it to see if the self-propulsion works. If the self-propulsion doesn't work, we just took an engine and cables and handles off a lawnmower that does have self-propulsion that works. Also in the rear. That's a tough decision. I'm gonna have to think about it.
Would I try to weld this onto here up to there? Weld there and here, and then cut out the hole, you know, into a shape of a real hole. Then paint this red, then use a plastic cover and cover this part. If you look at it from underneath, you're gonna be able to tell that this thing was jigged, you know? How much could you really sell this for if it looks jigged like that? Not much. And that's a lot of trouble to go through that for not much money. But I just feel like it's a waste because the self-propulsion works. Here, we've got, I know I'm gonna be able to loosen up these front wheels. So front wheels are good, rear wheels are good. It will roll freely. I don't know if the self-propulsion works, but look at the condition of this deck. It is a solid deck. It's just surface rust. Would I grind that out? I'd have to repaint it. Try to do it without messing up the stickers. Yeah, it's a decent deck, I guess. You could tell that it's more solid than that, for sure. I mean, this is just that. So, you know, this is trashed. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm leaning towards dumping this deck. It's a shame though, because self-propulsion works. And I wouldn't sell the self-propulsion to go through the trouble of taking it out and selling it on eBay, because this is a very old model. Chances of me finding somebody who wants that self-propulsion is slim to none, you know? I'll probably just dump it. Maybe I'll keep the wheels, I don't know. So, I guess I'm just gonna start off by removing that engine and putting it on here. Put you guys on time lapse. Are you guys ready for this? You guys saw on time lapse, simply remove the engine from this one, put it back on there. Pulley size seemed to fit, belt seemed to fit. For some reason I wasn't able to put the belt guard onto that one.
because it had its own belt guard or guide that got in the way of this. So I just said, leave it out. Put the blade back on again. The cables were actually good. I thought they were bad, but they seemed to move. The engagement one, the propulsion speed control works, and I looked at the bale handle flywheel kill cable, and it worked. I put it on, pulled it like 3 or 4 times without even priming it, started right up, everything works. I'll show you. Stokage. How awesome is that, huh? I thought this was gonna be a nightmare, but you saw I did grind off some of the paint in the area because if I put the engine on, it would be hard to paint, as I did. But I did grind off the rust, so I'll just, real quick, some orange. I don't know if I have any, but we'll see what happens. Engine runs on its own without any carb spray or cleaning, Now the front wheels are giving this some resistance. It doesn't free flow. Look. So that's kind of holding the speed back from the self-propulsion. You saw the self-propulsion is very strong. It actually has a speed selector, 1, 2, 3. 3 being super fast, 1 being slow. We'll just keep it at 3 because it's about the pace that you would use to mow the lawn. How about that, guys, huh? I'm glad I made that decision because honestly, if I had to weld and try to jig and fabricate that thing to look like factory, no matter what, it wouldn't, because from the bottom you'll see that there's layers of covers, This at least is a solid deck, and I'm going to now take the front wheels off and see the 2 studs that hold the wheels if they're all rusted. I'll grind off the rust, spray some grease on there, put the wheels back on again, and it should free flow very well with the rear self-propulsion, the original handle, original bale cable, levers, and cables all working on this new engine that we put on. I mean, look, at the very most, I don't have a bag for this thing, and this has one of those retarded bags too where how would you even put a bag on here? You know what I mean? But pretty cool, huh? I just didn't. Sometimes you get lucky, really. I mean, I thought I was gonna pull my hair out, getting this engine swap project done, but it looks like it's very straightforward. And fortunately for me, the decision to put it on the Scotch was the best decision. All right, I got some lube. Got a screwdriver. Take the wheels off.
A screwdriver, take the wheels off.
Oh, shut up. Yeah, some of them have caps. And this is a 9/16, I believe. Whoa, it's not. Can't be a 5/8. What could that be? It's not 9/16. Definitely not a half. It's bigger than a 9/16. That's conventional, not a 5/8. There ain't no freaking way. Holy cow! It's a 5/8 nut. Who puts a 5/8 nut on a front wheel? Scott's by John Deere does. Okay, so the inner spacer hub is still stuck on here because it's really, really rusted.
Henry, I want to see.
Okay, I'm bringing you closer so y'all can see. Because I take extra time to position the cameras so that you guys can all see exactly what I'm doing.
You're a good person, Henry.
Oh, shut up.
Hey, Henry, why don't you spray some lube on there now?
Oh. God, you're smart.
You see how much easier that was?
Oh, shut up. What do you think? Think that's good enough? So this thing would go back in here. Spray some lubricant, not lubricant, a can, lubricant. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. What the hell happened to that nut?
You're a nut.
Oh, shut up. Sweet, sweet Caroline. I'm going to do that with the other one now. Look at that. 5/8 bolt. Can you believe that? So as you saw, the spacers that were on this stud were so rusted onto there, it was fused. When I tried to take a channel locks to get it off, it all crumpled into pieces. So now the spacer is Dunsky, and this wheel, while it goes on there, it's wobbled because there's too much space. And now I have to find some kind of sleeve that will fit exactly on here and be exactly that diameter hole. How am I going to do that? So I know I don't have that sleeve because I know what I have. If I've seen something like that, I would have kept it. So I don't have it. So I decided, let's take the wheels off of this one and see. This is not going to work because this is the stud itself, not just a nut, see? So this wheel is not going to work, but look, this is the kind of Toro wheel that I was trying to figure out what it's for from my friends over at Fourtry. And I tried this on my buddy Andy from Jericho's, but it didn't fit. So this doesn't look like it'll fit either, but it's for rear self-propelled Toro recyclers. I'll leave a link in the description if you guys want to get these. Thanks to Fourtry for sending it to me. But this wheel's not going to work. While I was thinking about what to do about the wheel, I stripped the wheels off of that one and whatever parts that I might need. Wheels, belt cover, could sell on eBay. And since I have two good cables on that handle, just keep the whole handle. It's very easy to remove. But what am I gonna do about that? My friend Mark, I've done business with him before. He's given me stuff in the past. He moved to a different area, but then he asked me the other day, "Hey, Henry, do you have a hood like this? Because this one's all busted for my customer." I said, "Sure I do. Looks just like this one." Anyway, this is one that he just picked up. We're going in my backyard now. And we're going to try to dig out that hood. It's not the same color, but it's good.
How many I've been doing?
So I've got this gray one that you guys saw. But problem is when I pulled it out of the thing, this thing was loose, see? And it broke. Just like what happened with the original owner of this. He made these brackets. So this is his problem originally. So we have a similar problem, but the grill's good, right? And then we whipped this one out. That's the old square style. That has a regular bracket, whatever. And then I said, you know what? I have what did you do with that? Oh, that one right there. And then I have that one over there. And I said, oh, you could put the one piece and drill it onto here and it would work. And he's like, yeah, I'll take it all. And I says, I'll bring back what I don't need. And I says, no, if you don't need it, just throw it away. I've kept that stuff for so long. I figured I'm glad I was able to keep it so that one of my buddies could use it. See you guys later. So my friend left, and since I was back there, I picked out a few wheels that look like they have a sleeve in it. Old wheels. So maybe I can get the sleeves out of there and it'll fit here. If not, I might have to put different wheels on this. I'm gonna dump this to the curb and we'll see how it goes. So I have this one. It's bald, but I kept it just for emergencies because the gears are good. But this is from a Craftsman. And the sleeve came out of here, like that, see? This sleeve fits on this stud. It's a little rusty on the inside. So I've got this thing, wired bristle brush, that's in a tube. Just gonna clean this out, bang this into the Scots. And it should be good. Woo! Yeah! There's always a way to fix things. Can you believe it? I have some orange spray paint. Just a touch up to cover up the rust spots. I'm not gonna go crazy and mask everything off, grind everything down to be smooth. I might get 80 to 100 bucks for this thing anyway. Anyway, as you saw in time lapse, I had started it up and we ran all the gas out of it. So this is actually now ready to be stored for the winter. Nobody's going to buy this right now. So how about that, guys? I thought it was going to be a complete headache to do the engine swap project today, but it turned out in my favor. You know, we did some unconventional things to get this wheel going. You know, you get another wheel with a sleeve, whatever works, you know, fellas. And I'm pretty stoked that, you know, it rolls good now. I didn't have to do anything to the engine because it runs on its own, and that's all you need for it to run on its own. We have a good deck now, a little bit of touch-up paint just to cover up the rust spots, the surface ruts. It's not a rotted deck, it's actually pretty good. Self-propulsion works. Using the existing handles, and fortunate for me, the cables do work too. Also the speed control. I added some SAE 30. It had almost no oil in it, so just had to dump it in there. There's nothing, hardly anything to drain out, you know. So we added about 20 ounces of SAE 30 from my friends over at Lucas Oil. And so we'll store this into the shed, and I'll have 8 lawnmowers to sell for next spring. I've got 3 or 4 snow blowers left on my docket, and I still have to test that Kohler Courage engine that we just JB welded the crack. Looks like it held up pretty well. I'm gonna put it on its regular position now and see over the days or weeks whether any oil drips out of that area. Thanks a lot for joining me on today's episode, guys. We'll see you all next time on Mowers and Blowers.
See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.